everyone, I am Mehak Chawla, Bharatanatyam dancer, disciple of Guru Srimati Geeta Chandranji and an arts educator. Today we will be exploring the topic Classical Indian Aesthetics, Foundational Ideas for Understanding Performing Traditions. In this, we will be looking at the cultural history of India. The culture of India from prehistoric times to CE 1200. So, the cultural history of India from prehistoric time to CE 1200 reflects a long, layered and continuously evolving civilization shaped by diverse ecological zones, migrating populations, religious philosophies and artistic traditions. Understanding these periods is essential because each age contributed uniquely to the development of dance, drama, music, architecture, ritual practices, aesthetics and literary forms. It is being divided into different parts. The very first part is Prehistoric India. In Prehistoric India, that marks the earliest phase when humans expressed themselves through rock art, ritual objects, early dance gestures, community rituals and basic musical instruments. Sites like Bhimbetka show evidence of group dances, hunting scenes and symbolic imagery. The Neolithic and Chalcolithic cultures introduced settled life, pottery traditions, primitive shrines and fertility cults, laying the earliest foundations of Indian rituals and artistic expression. And the next part is Indus Valley or Harappan civilization. The Indus Valley civilization represents India's first urban cultural phase, known for its planned cities, sophisticated drainage systems, standardized weights, seals, terracotta art, and metal craft. Artistic motifs show rituals, symbolic and proto-performances. Elements such as dancing girl, bronze, priest-like figures, animal motifs and possible proto-yoga postures. The Harappan worldview emphasized harmony, order, fertility, worship and nature symbolism, which later influenced Vedic and post-Vedic cultures. If we look into the Vedic culture, the Vedic period introduced a strong oral tradition centered on ritual performance, the yagya, hymns from Rigved, melodic chants from Samved, and early concepts of dramaturgy that later crystallized in Natya Shastra. Society was semi-nomadic but culturally dynamic, giving rise to philosophical ideas, cosmology, social institutions, varna systems and ritual specialists. The later Vedic period saw settled agriculture, formation of Janapadas, early state system and the roots of classical aesthetics. And the next period is of Buddhist Jain period and Mahajanapada. This age was marked by intense intellectual debate and socio-religious reform. Buddhism and Jainism challenged ritual orthodoxy, emphasized ethical living and contributed immensely to art and performance traditions. Buddhist stupas, railings, gateways at Sanchi, Bharhut and Jain cave temples at Udaygiri, Khandagiri reflect narrative art, storytelling, and symbolic motifs that shaped later Indian iconography. The period also saw development of Prakrit literature, early dance depictions, and organized monastic patronage. The next period is Maurya to Gupta period. The Mauryan Empire brought political unification, monumental architecture such as Ashokan pillar and state-supported art promoting dharma. In the post-Mauryan era, Shungas, Satvahanas, Kushanas and others encouraged regional schools of sculpture. The Gupta period is often termed as the golden age of Indian culture, marked by classical Sanskrit literature of Kalidas, refinement of sculpture, advanced temple architecture, and the codification of performing arts through the Natik Shastra tradition. Dance, music, and drama became more sophisticated, temple-centric, and aesthetically unified through the Rasa Bhava theory. And the next period is early medieval India. In this period, it witnessed the rise of powerful regional dynasties like the Pallavas, Cholas, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Palasenas, and Rajput kingdoms. Temples became centers for art, music, dance, and community rituals. Dravidian and Nagara architectural styles evolved, featuring elaborate sculptures of dancers, musicians, and deities. This era also saw the early formation of classical dance traditions, precursors of Bharatanatyam, Odissi, Kuchipudi, development of regional musical systems, growth of bhakti literature, and flourishing of dramatic forms like Kudiyatam. Cultural expressions became more regional yet intricately interconnected. Now, let's study in detail about the Paleolithic period. India's cultural journey begins long before the rise of organized settlement in the vast stretch time called the Paleolithic Age, when early humans survived as hunters, gatherers, and moved constantly across landscape in search of food. Their tools were simple, crudely chipped stone implements, yet these artifacts represent some of the earliest expressions of human intelligence. The subcontinent is rich in Paleolithic sites. Among the most significant are Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, Kurnool caves in Andhra Pradesh, and Patna in Maharashtra, each offering valuable insights to how early humans lived, adapted, and communicated. Temporary shelters such as rock caves and overhangs provided safety, and these protected spaces eventually became the earliest canvases on which humans expressed their experiences. One of the most remarkable contributions of this period is the rock art at Bhimbetka, which provides a visual record of prehistoric life and collective behavior. The paintings depict dancing figures, group hunting scenes, processions, and community gatherings, suggesting that early humans already recognized rhythm, coordination, and group movement as meaningful parts of social existence. Many figures appear with bent knees, raised arms, and repeated bodily patterns, reflecting both aesthetic choices and a form of embodied knowledge shaped by daily survival activities. Ritualistic behavior such as circles formed around animals or fires and figures that seen masked or ornamented reveals early symbolic thinking and a shared sense of celebration, ritual or group identity. This rhythm of collective action, hunting, gathering, chanting, drumming, or moving in unison, offers a powerful glimpse into how early humans built social bonds and expressed their inner world through movement and imagery. Having understood the fundamental lifestyle and cultural expression of Paleolithic people, we now move to next stage of human development in India, the Mesolithic age, where changes in climate, tool, technology and social interaction led to more refined artistic and cultural behavior. So in Mesolithic period, as climatic conditions improved after the Ice Age, humans entered the Mesolithic age, a time marked by smaller, sharper stone tools known as microliths. People continued to live in caves and shelters, but their lifestyle became more diversified. Hunting, fishing, gathering fruits, and beginning small scale domestication of animals. Sites like Bagor in Rajasthan, Bhimbetka and Adamgarh in Madhya Pradesh reveal a more settled pattern of life where social groups interacted closely and developed a sense of community. The rock art of this period shows much greater detail with scenes of music, group dance, celebrations and daily life painted with vivid dynamism. Unlike the Paleolithic phase where movement appears rudimentary, Mesolithic figures display a clear rhythmic flow, often depicted with musical instruments such as primitive drums or sticks. The presence of communal festivities indicates that the ideas of ritual gatherings and organized celebrations had already become part of human society. Body decoration, painting, and ornamentation also appears more defined, revealing an early awareness of appearance, costume, and symbolic presentation. Thus, the Mesolithic period marks a significant stage where dance and music emerge not merely as instinctive gestures but as structured social expressions with community life. With a gradual shift from mobility to settlement, the cultural landscape of India enters a transformative age, the Neolithic age, marked by agriculture, domestication, and early village life. In Neolithic period, the Neolithic age signifies one of the most profound cultural revolutions in Indian history. The shift of agriculture and settled village life. Humans learned to cultivate crops, domesticate cattle, and build permanent houses. Important Neolithic settlements include Mehergarh, Balochistan, Burzaham, Kashmir, Tirand, Bihar, and Payampalli in Tamil Nadu. The lifestyle became increasingly community oriented with shared labor, storage of grains, pottery production, and ritual practices centered around fertility, nature, and ancestors. With stability came new artistic expressions such as decorated pottery, terracotta figurines, and early ritual objects, all of which indicate a deepening symbolic life within Neolithic communities. These artifacts reveal the growing importance of rituals, seasonal celebrations, and collective gatherings, reflecting a society that increasingly valued shared cultural practices. Evidence suggests that people participated in ceremonial movements linked to agriculture, rhythmic chants during communal labor, and ritual activities conducted around hearths of open ground. The presence of figurines, especially female fertility icons, highlights early concepts of symbolic embodiment, which later evolved into traditions of Shakti, worship, ritual dances, and dramatic iconography in Indian cultural history. If we look into the Chalcolithic period, which is the period of copper stone, following the Neolithic period, many regions of India entered the Chalcolithic age, which is characterized by the simultaneous use of copper tools alongside stone implements. This marks the beginning of early metal technology. Important Chalcolithic cultures include the Ahar, Banas of Rajasthan, Malwa from Madhya Pradesh, Jorvi, Maharashtra, and parts of western and central India. These communities lived in well organized villages with mud houses, storage pits, and distinctive pottery styles. Their pottery, often polished, painted, and decorated, reveals refined aesthetic sensibilities. Chalcolithic period engaged in agriculture, cattle herding, hunting, and fishing. They also developed new technologies such as copper smelting and specialized crafts, indicating growing social complexity. In terms of cultural expression, this period gives us striking evidence of ritual worship, processions, terracotta masks, animal figurines, and ceremonial objects. These reveal a richer symbolic world linking humans, nature, and the divine. Early dance and ritual practices like revolved around agricultural cycles, ancestors' worship, and fertility rites. The presence of cult shrines, clay idols, and ritual pits suggests that performance, song, gestures, rhythmic movements played an important role in both daily and ceremonial activities. The Chalcolithic period thus forms a bridge between early village cultures and the more urban cultures formed of coming Indus Valley civilization. As prehistoric communities gradually moved to nomadic hunting gathering groups, to settled agricultural societies, the foundation of more complex ways of living began to emerge across the subcontinent. The technological advances of the Neolithic and Chalcolithic phases, such as farming, pottery, domestication of animals, and early village formations, created the conditions necessary for larger and more organized settlements. Over time, small clusters of hunts expanded into coordinated habitation zones with storage facilities, craft activity, and growing social networks. These developments, combined with increasing mastery over metal tools, trade, and long distance exchange, laid the groundwork for the rise of India's first urban civilization. It is from this cultural and technological evolution that the Indus Valley civilization or Harappan civilization represents a remarkable leap from village based life to highly planned cities. It stands as one of the world's earliest and most sophisticated Bronze Age cultures. We now explore this civilization in detail, its urban planning, material culture, artistic expression, and ritual practices to understand how early India entered its first phase of urban complexities. In Indus civilization or Harappan civilization, it marks as one of the earliest and most advanced urban cultures of the ancient world. Flourishing across northwest India and Pakistan, it displayed remarkable sophistication in town planning, water management, craft production, and symbolic expression. The civilization extended across major sites such as Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dholavira, Lothal, and Kalibangan, each contributing crucial evidence about social organization, economic networks, and cultural practices. What makes this civilization extraordinary is its ability to create highly standardized settlements with a shared system of measurements, artistic tradition, and possibly belief systems. Cultural features of the Indus Valley civilization. The very first one is urban planning and its architecture. So the cities of Harappan world were laid out on a grid pattern with straight streets intersecting at right angles. Residential areas, workshops, and administrative structures were arranged logically, reflecting both civic order and engineering skills. Houses made of baked bricks, a technological innovation, had multiple rooms, wells, and private bathing spaces. The next one is drainage and the water management. It is one of the most striking features, which was the sophisticated drainage system. Each house had access to covered drains that connected to larger public drains, demonstrating advanced sanitization and an awareness of public hygiene unrivaled in many contemporary cultures. Then comes the economic and administrative tools. Harappan used standardized weights and measures, ensuring uniformity in trade. Thousands of chaetite seals engraved with animal symbols and script were used for economic transaction, identification, and possibly state administration. Then comes the public structure and the granaries. Large buildings such as the Great Path of Mohenjo-daro and massive granaries found at Harappa and other sites indicate collective activities, ceremonial gatherings, and central storage of agricultural produce. These structures show that the community worked cooperatively under some of the organized authority. Then let's study about the art, aesthetic, and symbolic life. In Harappan artistic expression, it is seen in a wide variety of materials: bronze, terracotta, pottery, and stone. These artifacts reveal not only technical skills but also an advanced aesthetic sense. Some of the most significant artistic contributions included sculpture figurines. The bronze dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro is among the most famous discoveries. Her elegant postures resemble Tribhanga, confident stance, and carefully carved ornaments which demonstrate high metal casting expertise and a deep understanding of human form. Numerous terracotta figurines, including female fertility icons, musicians, and animal models, indicate ritualistic practices, household worship, and social customs. With this, I conclude my lecture and will proceed in the next one.